Hello friends and welcome to another episode of 3 Minute Game Pass. I'm Nathan and I'm going to tell you whether or not this Game Pass game is worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Atomicrops. What if you used atomic radiation to merge Stardew Valley and enter the Gungeon? Does a farming, roguelike, dual-stick shooter sound completely insane? Well, it kind of does, but is it good? Let's find out. Atomicrops is a cross-platform release, PC and Xbox, but there is no cross-save or cross-anything with that. Game time is about an hour per run, but you could technically play it an infinite number of times, and that's about it for features. So what is Atomicrops? Well, the blurb at the beginning wasn't a joke. This is in fact a dual-stick roguelike shooter mixed with farming elements. The basic gameplay route is that during the day, you either farm or explore the surrounding areas, which contain small clusters of enemies guarding power-ups like seeds, resources, and upgrades. And as you clear them out, you can get those abilities to enhance your farm. At nighttime, however, the enemies attack, trying to destroy your crops, so you have to defend your crops while attempting to harvest them. The following morning, you essentially are taken back to town where you cash out and can use the money to buy upgrades or use roses, which is a separate form of currency you have to grow, to increase your relationship with the townsfolk or buy special items. There are 3 days per season and 4 seasons per run. At the end of each season, you will fight a boss, and you will also be ranked based on how many crops you sold. Additionally, there is a final boss at the end of the year, and that constitutes the end of a run. And that's basically the gameplay loop. That's what I like about this game. Somehow, this insane combination of farming and exploring and dual-stick shooting your way to victory, it works. I don't know why it works, but it somehow works, and it works really well. It's incredibly addicting, and the two mechanics work together almost seamlessly. It provides an interesting mix of exploration, farming, and combat. The other thing I like is upgrades really feel meaningful. They can dramatically improve your game. As an example, I got an upgrade that put guns on the backs of all my pigs who helped dig, and so then I spent the rest of the game getting as many pigs as possible and ended up with a pig army to defend my crops, which was pretty great. The mighty hog horde was unstoppable. And lastly, the mechanics just all feel great. The shooting feels great, the farming feels pretty great, it's very satisfying, and it leads to a very addicting quality that had me coming back and trying runs again and again. When it comes to the bad, weapons you buy break after one day. You have to pay money to buy them and then they break. That felt kind of like a misstep. There was no really permanent upgrade in the weapons department. You can get a character that makes weapons last longer, so I guess you can negate this, but it felt like a weird design decision. The other thing was weird was there was no real permanent upgrades like in most roguelikes. The experience won't change between runs. You're going to get the same thing every time in terms of you're not going to unlock new stuff that's going to suddenly appear in the town, which is a bit annoying. It doesn't feel like you're progressing, although you can unlock harder difficulties every time you do the run. The last thing is that while this game feels great on a controller for the shooting, it doesn't feel great for the farming. I felt that farming was a kind of misaligned. Sometimes I would dig when I meant to plant, stuff like that. You do kind of get used to it, but it is clearly not optimized for that. So I rate games here on a 3-point scale. Must play, maybe consider, don't bother. This is a maybe consider, but I do think it's a hidden gem. I half expected this to be some weird-ass junk game, especially based on its Xbox icon, which looks just weird and doesn't tell you anything. But I end up getting sucked into its loop fairly easily. Having an actual end of runs really helps with this because it feels like you are accomplished and it feels like you're getting better at the game the more you play. This isn't the best roguelike out there, I'll be honest, but it is insanely unique. And if you have any affinity for the genre, or especially for dual-stick shooter roguelikes like Enter the Gungeon, you should definitely give this game a shot. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and go out there and enjoy Atomicrops.